or the kid sports show.
This was an interesting. Les, you ready to talk about Shoresy?
Well, I was thinking of
good because you're going.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get the game stick?
Episode 459 of the TV Dudes, recorded November 1st, 2023. Shoresy. This week, we're talking about Shoresy Season 2 on Hulu. Plus, we've got our usual assortment of desserts with Star Trek Lower Decks, GenV, and Loki. Before we get to all that, I'm Randy.
I'm Les.
And I'm Nick. Big sexy.
And we're the TV Dudes. We'll be checking back in on the 6-episode Shoresy Season 2. Man, that thing went by fast.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Tore
through that like a plated chicken.
Chicken's unbelievable.
We'll go in we'll hit our Thursday greatest hits, which are about to come to an end. Lower Decks and GenV both end the day after we record this. So,
sure.
And Loki soon behind. So we're gonna wrap up dessert right before the end of the year, and possibly not having a lot of TV to watch. Well,
I mean,
it's about to be a little thin here on the ground.
I mean, if we could convince you to finally catch up on Chucky, we could have that for dessert because we're talking about it every fucking week.
I appreciate your noble attempts, but that's not going to happen.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about TV Diaries.
The Diaries of the Television Dudes. Brought to you by only the finest cocaine wine.
And I'll go first. I got a quick one this week. Mostly I've been playing Spider-Man 2, which is great, by the way, and has a fantastic story and better than honestly most other Spider-Man. It's like
surprising since I know you're not a fan of Venom.
I'm not, but I like when he's done well, and he's done very well in here. It is riffing on the original Black Costume saga and on Kraven's Last Hunt and a lot of really great comic stuff. It is kind of like when the Batman animated series took the best versions of all Batman and made it Batman animated series.
Sure.
The Spider-Man video games kind of do the same thing. It's really impressive writing.
Yeah.
So for me this week, I watched 2 episodes last week tonight, pretty back to back, which is never a good idea. I remember the world is a shithole and it's never going to get fixed.
The last episode was chocolate.
It was chocolate. Everything was great. It talked about how chocolate is.
What could be wrong with chocolate?
Nothing, except if you have a problem with slave labor.
And I know if you're watching this show, you're thinking to yourself, hey, I got to give out these fucking stickers in about an hour.
Are you going to make that weird for me? And yes, I am.
Why are you going to are you about to ruin chocolate for me? He's like
looking at John Oliver, slowly looking over at the basket of Halloween candy, looking back at John Oliver.
Damn it.
We'll just cover it with some coca leaves, Randy. Pretend it's not there.
Kept up with Quantum Leap, which I'm back on board after I was starting to worry about the ongoing story. I'm still not super into the whole ongoing story, which now appears to be there's a evil billionaire who might be using the Quantum Leap, might be trying to get into the quantum. It's not a story I'm not super into as I was with the whole why did Ben leap?
Yeah. I figured out this week. I'm enjoying the week to week. The Lonely Hearts Club one was fun.
Yeah.
I think their breakup thing is dumb, but they both got to give impassioned monologues about it that were well done. But this season restarted the mystery at basically the same mystery level it was at last year. We aren't going further. We've changed the direction of the conspiracy, but it's left me feeling like we didn't get anywhere last season.
Agreed, and I think that's a problem, and I'm worried it may be the crack that's going to break the show for me. But the week to week still pretty good because this week's Timothy Hutton was Timothy Hutton, right? And I think that's who that is.
No,
it's not him. Okay, it's somebody. It's the guy from Leverage, right? Am I wrong?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, whoever it was, their lead guy playing a sort of washed up Hollywood guy. And his comeback attempt or suicide that Ben's trying to prevent. I thought that was a really good story. It had a little bit lower stakes than you expect from time travel, but I thought that was a good one. And he's great, and so I thought they did a really good job. Yeah, I forget who the guy is, but he's definitely one of those that guys you've seen him and stuff.
Yeah, no, I've seen him in a ton of stuff. Tim Matheson.
Tim Matheson, right.
Animal
okay,
House.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I was. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So yeah, he's great, and this is a good episode, and it dovetailed nicely into the story of Madison and Ben basically finally having it out. Addison and Ben finally having it out about
Mm-hmm.
you know, I actually thought they both had a point. I thought Ben was torturing her for no reason, and I thought she was expecting Ben to move on awfully quickly. And I was like, man, he's right. They can't keep doing this.
Yeah, I did like the moment when he just straight up looks at like she wants to keep talking, but he's like, "Hey, you can't be my hologram. Get
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna die here. Could you please get the fuck out of the imaging chamber?"
yeah.
Like,
Now the big question left for me is who's going to be the hologram? Because it can't be who's the tech person who was the hologram for a little
Ian.
bit. Ian. It can't be Ian. Ian is too busy running the goddamn show. Ian
No,
really knows.
I think right now Magic's the one who doesn't have a job to do because they
Magic would
brought
be
in boyfriend.
Magic would be great. I could see the security person whose name I can never remember.
Bringing in the boyfriend is
If they bring in the boyfriend, that would be the worst.
He can't be the hologram, but just on the show in general, like it's made this whole season a mess. Like their time jump and the breakup and the boyfriend. Like I get how these seemed like amazing drama engines to throw into the show when you're writing this, but like I hate all these. I hate having to deal with all of this now.
Yeah, no one in the room, no one in the writers' room said, "Hey, is this? I know it's all interesting, but is it going to be fun?"
Is it?
No
fun?
no one said, "Is this just depressing?" Like, because nobody did anything wrong, but they fucked their lives, and I'm like, I don't want to watch. It was bad enough that Ben was, having a rough. He was stuck in time travel. By the way, that was one thing I really liked this week was the notion of like, well, maybe we can't. Maybe it's a one-way trip. Maybe it requires sacrifice. I was like, oh shit, that's dark.
When I heard that, I was like, damn it, that's dark, and I like that, but also
dark.
I know that's a cop out of not getting like that's
Spacula.
Like you can't the show can't actually seize on this like the heart of the show. But I also heard I don't think in the intro, I don't think they have anything about the leap home or anything. So like I kind of wonder if the show is going towards that of like, nope, whoever steps into the imaging chamber is fucking gone.
Yeah, you're gone.
You are now like an agent of time.
And that's, I mean, there's stuff to be played with there. So that's they're doing interesting stuff. But I do think there's at least one writer in that writer's room who needs to stop throwing out ideas.
Right.
Because there's stuff I do not like in some of this.
Like, oh yeah, that will make a bunch of stories that I don't want to tell, Chris. Stop it.
Don't want, stop that. Don't yes and that guy. Shut him down hard. I watched last night for Halloween. Aaron watched The Great Pumpkin, and then since I know he's been watching on YouTube in a thing that crushes my soul, he's been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine clips, and I'm like, man, kid, I wish you'd just watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but that's how he watches TV. And so I finally was like, well, we can watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine Halloween episodes. So we watched 3 of the Halloween heists, which was a ton of fun. Those are always good. And then watched the second, third of House of Usher with my friend Morgan, who she is not a horror person at all. I had to warn her, like she turned to me and she's like, "Is anything going to happen to that cat?" And I was like, "Well, not really." Not really anything's going to happen to the cat, but I will warn you so you don't have to watch the things that seem like they're happening to the cat.
Right. He does. He feels it will seem real to him.
Yeah.
And there's a pile of cat in the floor.
Yeah. And then Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I watched that, so we can talk about it on Patreon. And other than the homework, that is my TV. Oh no, I'm sorry. Very importantly, I watched the 3rd season to review, and I don't want to spoil anything because I think y'all are both making your way through it. But I forgot what the ending of review is, and it is dark as fucking hilarious. I had forgotten it happened.
I have not looked ahead.
Beginning, it just feels like it just starts.
There's a part of me that like I kind of want the last episode to be reviewing suicide or something just fucking awful.
It's not that bad, but it is very dark. It's oh man, it is a great little, and it's one of these things that like they sort of like did a meta thing too. Like they just it's a perfect ending. I was like, oh shit, I'd totally forgotten season 3's ending. So yeah, I'm looking forward to y'all catching up on that. And that's my TV Diaries. What'd y'all watch?
What happened on Chucky this week, Les? Goddamn, let's hit him with it.
Oh man, Well, the aging continues, and even though he kills a fuckload of people in the White House, Damballa is not happy, and he cannot get his mojo back. Just to remind you, Randy, his voodoo mojo is no longer working because he was involved in an exorcism and is now has a bit of Catholic stain on him.
Right. Yes, I remember this. Yeah.
And
so at the same time, we've got Jennifer Tilly back on the show. The real Jennifer Tilly at this point in continuity is dead, like actually dead. And this is Tiffany, like the soul of Tiffany in Jennifer Tilly's body, still making this argument in prison. No one believes her. All the guards hate her. She's in prison on death row awaiting her execution, and she gets her court approved religious items that she had to fight for delivered, and it's just a box of blank voodoo dolls.
And Voodoo for Dummies,
and a book called Voodoo for Dummies. And she is the one who now has Damballa's favor. And she starts just literally out of a Voodoo for Dummies thing, like gets the gum off of a chewing guard. I mean, chewing gum off of a guard, and like a cigarette butt off of another inmate.
Your Martha Stewart analog.
Yeah, starts fucking.
Dude, the voodoo dolls are so powerful. Like she's like, I'm gonna need you to.
It works so immediately for her. It's it's just Jennifer Tilly being weird in a cell, and it's
only a matter of time before she busts out now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Chucky cannot catch a break. Drops a chandelier on people, kills a fuckload of people in the White House, and nothing yet. Still,
the reporter takes a picture of her dead body right before she dies. It's fucking awesome.
Yes.
It cuts in half, and she's like...
And Chucky wears the Phantom of the Opera thing and has to make up cover his
and runs
hands
on the rafters.
His hands look old. Yeah, he's running around on the rafters in a Phantom of the Opera costume, loosening bolts on things. It's fucking... I love Chucky. It's so good.
Great chandelier kill. Like, yeah. We're also like the costume party they go with the kids like end up like making adjusted Chucky like good guy costumes that are like sexy, which
it's weird, like Chucky Halloween costumes in the way that all Halloween costumes are, slutty pumpkin, slutty whatever. Yeah, it's definitely weird seeing like, all right, man, you're taking us to the gun show in a Chucky costume. It's a little weird.
Yeah, like how old is fucking what's his name's actor fucking like I know like not okay, so this is bad because the character is underage, but the actor is not. Like it's not weird for me to be like.
It seems like one of the actors on Chucky got ripped, is going for a Marvel role, something in between seasons,
just showing his arms. Season, like
that kid is suddenly sleeveless in a stupid amount of clothing options. Like just walking into a room going, why can Jake not afford sleeves? I get his parents are dead. Chucky killed them, but seriously, man, look through the Lost and Found. Some of those shirts have sleeves.
Well, I mean, I watched Hell of a Boss, the latest episode, which had a pretty cute, like a clown competition in hell, but it had a really cute moment with a deaf fan of the like a clown sub character, and like just this like a really sweet moment for this really crass show that I thought was pretty good.
The little bit I've seen of Hell of a Boss kind of reminded me of an Invader Zim vibe, but also
you actually watched Has-Been Hotel, which is the same.
That was Has-Been Hotel.
Yeah,
okay.
Which is the same dudes, only they sold that to Prime, so it has a different look now. And I think they actually had to change actors because a lot of the actors on the YouTube thing are non-union, and so they had to change to SAG people. So that's why there's Keith David and Stephanie Beatrice on the new Has-Been Hotel. Like like a real cast. Like it's like, oh shit, this is a real show now. And then of course I watched. I guess Randy, your kid watches Brooklyn like I watch Law and Order, which is like in clips on Facebook or YouTube.
See, that is fine with me. That's how Law and Order should be watched.
Like we've been trying to figure out all week how some algorithm choices are made. And I deeply want to know, like, what did you click on that subtly changed it from Blue Bloods to L&O?
Well, all I know is that
because there are differences there.
Last week it started showing me Batman Beyond, which I was like, oh, I'm fucking in for this. All right.
Like I want to know like the degrees of Kevin Bacon. Like, how did we walk there? What, you used to be able to hit on Pandora of like, why are you suggesting this fucking song?
Right.
Like,
right.
I want to see that.
There's just not as many. I think it has to do with divisive issue episodes and.
I was about to say, back to Randy's 22 episode thing. There's plenty of Blue Blood,
but Blue Bloods doesn't have as many issue episodes. I'm like,
No.
oh shit! A lot of this is probably just propaganda that's not worth putting on Facebook because
I would argue that every moment of Blue Bloods is a weird decision.
Even just the regular investigations we don't see,
right?
But. Yeah, Law and Order, like, and Law and Order has a great, like, I was looking at it, I'm like, man, it's like Family Guy or something. Like, wherever Law and Order starts at, they're gonna pivot somewhere in the middle because they gotta fill up an hour. And like, oh wait, didn't this have a fucking like a domestic abuse case? Now it's about like a woman that like that was a witness to that murder is now an unsolved murderess from a while ago.
We showed up for a different call, but while we were in the house, we smelled a body in the wall, and now we're doing that.
Oh shit! I was telling Les about the first one was like okay, so this one's about a homeless guy that gets set on fire and his balls stabbed. All right, well that leads them to this school where he used to go, and oh wait, so he actually had sex with a girl at that school now because her and her friends want to have. Oh my god, they make a baby bling ring.
This feels like SVU. Not just plain Law and Order. I don't know if Facebook Reels separates them, but like I feel like there needs to be a warning of like, oh yeah, let's sit down and watch some Law and Order. Fucking A, SVU. Oh my god. Like I love me some Stabler, but every single one of those plots is a Jesus Christ. You can't tell this story in a restaurant.
Also, wow, they were ready to. There's a military episode where Jason Stackhouse from True Blood plays like a military dude, and it's about basically rape and assault on females in the military. And it was only like a decade ago, but it was like, man, Law and Order may love cops, but they don't show any love for the fucking military. They were like fucking letting them have it.
That actually surprises me.
I know, right? But like Dick Wolf says, he's openly said I love cops. I guess he's never openly said I love the military because they were like, man, fuck the military. Like, fuck it. It's basically a bunch of like, it's a rapist smorgasbord over there. All they do is protect, like, oh, god damn.
It is hilarious to think about like cops on TV going, yeah, those guys just close rank around each other and protect their own. It's fucking champion.
Right?
Man, Dick Wolf, I got some bad news for you about real cops.
And it can't be that way. The overlap between police officers and veterans is insane. So
yeah,
Ice-T on the show. Ice-T on the show is a veteran. Like, and he and even says to fucking Benson at one point, Mariska Hargitay is like, hey, you know, Ice-T, I get it. Like, I feel I get defensive when a cop goes bad too. And he's like, yeah, I don't see you going to 1PP and arguing for them to fucking do a whole restructuring. Like you're talking for the military. Like, it was like, well, thank you, Ice-T. Although this is the last time we're gonna be probably mentioning this. I also watched Our Planet, which was one of the new documentaries on Netflix, which I thought was pretty interesting. Morgan Freeman narrating. I haven't really gone through the like there's actually been 5 extinction events on Earth, like mass extinction events, not just the asteroid, you know, the one we all know about. I mean, it sucks because like the first like 3 or 4 don't like kill anything that's not fish, and like, well then nobody cares.
Yeah, fuck that fish.
But also I wish that Morgan Freeman is a great narrator. But the way they word stuff of like, well then there was a game changer. Then the vertebrates come and they had an advantage. It was a backbone. And like, I just wanted like a flavor like, oh shit, man, the vertebrates are here. They got grown themselves a fucking backbone, yo.
Yeah, you want Snoop Dogg's Planet Earth. Yeah.
Shit, they're kicking the shit of all those invalids. God damn, that's what evolution will do for you, bro.
Show some spine, motherfuckers.
Once you get a spine, then you get some bite force, and oh shit, that changes the game. And then me and Les watched Justice League War World, which I'll let him talk about because I honestly am still thinking about it. I'm like, what a weird fucking movie.
Yeah. Yeah. That may be the most comic booky animated thing I've seen in a while. Not in the only in the sense of the story makes no sense if you've not read a bunch of comics and aren't ready for it. It just drops you straight in. There's barely any explanation of what Warworld is at all. You just start with Wonder Woman in the Old West at the start of this movie. And you slowly figure out that, like, wow, this doesn't seem like the DC universe I'm used to. I guess we're maybe on an Elseworlds or something. Nope. Now we're in the Warlord from DC Comics. And okay, I guess we're doing that. I know that guy's supposed to be Batman, but kind of Conan the Barbarian. Cool, okay. And then nope, now we're in black and white, like in a War of the Worlds thing. Okay. I guess we're like at a certain point, Nick and I went, oh man, yeah, we're waiting for something to start that's already started. We've been on Warworld the whole time. Okay. This movie is, and it just goes. You're either with it or not. I really like the animation style. I like that kind of heavy black line on everything that DC does in a portion of their movies, but not all for some fucking reason.
Well, it's that Flash animation that kind of like, well, since it kind of makes it look like a comic book panel come to life. Like, okay, they get away with it more than other Flash animation things, I think.
It's got Jensen Ackles as their Batman here. Darren Cross is their Superman. Stana Katic from Castle is Wonder Woman with a kind of weird Eastern European accent. Because ever since Gal Gadot, everybody's got to do Wonder Woman with a weird accent.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for that.
God, I wish that wasn't a thing.
Yeah. But overall, this was cool. I'm interested in it. It sets up, like, it has a huge kind of setup for another thing at the end that I won't spoil for people. But weird movie. I would rewatch. It went by really quick. It also, there were just several points of like, I mean, I'm with it, but what the fuck are we doing? Okay. Yeah. It also, they have a couple of characters meet in what appears to be the first time. And it's really clear that these people aren't all from the same, like, it's Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, but they're not the same Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman from each other's Earth.
Well, it straight drops the trailer for the next thing that they're doing, which is obviously, well, I'm assuming it's Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, we can just go and spoil. They're either going to do Crisis or Infinite Crisis, one of the two.
Well, holy God, hopefully not Final Crisis.
They're doing some kind of crisis thing. It's DC. It's a nervous tick. Everybody just occasionally has to wait for it to pass, like DC's going to do Crisis. But yeah, that was Warworld. It's, I don't know, fucking weird.
It's real weird, yeah. It's hard to explain. You're gonna have to watch it for yourself, guys. Which,
yeah. Even being aware of what Warworld is and having read some comics with it in it, I was still just like, man, somebody explain what the fuck is happening here. Of course, we also watched Shoresy, watched GenV, which we'll discuss on Desserts along with Lower Decks. Fanny wanted to take a break from an even heavier slate of horror movies recently and watch Dead Poets Society. So I watched it for the first time in a long time.
How did that hold up?
Really well. I was telling Nick, I was really stunned how well it holds up. Obviously, when it opens on the tapestry of like kids at the school and then it shows their assembly and everything, and like, you know, in your heart of hearts right then, there's no black characters in this fucking movie. Like it is definitely white as hell. But
it's a poetry class in a boarding school, Les. Like, that is like, I mean,
oh yeah,
there shouldn't be a black person in that class because they
in the 90s.
It would be Bridgerton to do it, but still, it's noticeable now. That jumps out at you.
Yeah,
or it should. And but as far as like Robert Sean Leonard's death, the various like impactful moments, I forgot it's Kurtwood Smith that's his dad.
Oh wow.
Well, also they're doing poetry to get chicks, man. Like, remember the one they take all the chicks out? They're like, okay, well, not one of you is gay. All right, interesting, choice.
Yeah, I feel like there's some subtext. I don't know. They just can't. They're not going to go there, at least in it.
So
that would have refocused the entire movie that year if they'd done it.
We lost Matthew Perry this week. You know, and they're friends. Whatever you think of Friends would occasionally drop a little bon mot that I thought was perfect. there's a bit in one of the episodes where fake Monica, the person who stole her credit cards, is explaining her philosophy of life, and well, I went and saw that movie, and it's basically about this, how she lives life every day, as if it's her last, that kind of thing. And he's telling her, yeah, I went and saw Dead Poet Society, and that movie was so boring that I vowed to never waste a minute of my life again.
She's got the message of.
Look, and the kid who kills himself because he can't be in the play. She's like, kid, graduate and do some community theater, okay? And I was like, oh man, that is brutal. And now I can't ever watch Dead Poet Society again because man,
Absolutely.
that does undercut the entire thing.
Absolutely.
I'm like, oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, because it's entire. Well, and the acting thing is literally his response to being told to seize the day. So like the acting thing kind of comes out of the blue at the end of Act 1. It's not out of the blue. They're all right. Suddenly thinking about what they might actually want to do in their heart of hearts. Yeah. But he's never mentioned acting before.
Right.
Yeah. It's a very like high school emotions running hot.
Yeah.
13 Reasons kind of suicide. It though I was telling it also is one of the first times that we saw, he doesn't have a beard here, but we saw serious reined in Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, he still gets off some Robin Williams-y moments in like one of the couple of the teaching lectures, but where he like riffs a little bit.
Yeah.
But overall, like this isn't Good Morning Vietnam. This isn't anything, this is the Robin Williams to go. And also rewatching anything with him in it now.
Yeah.
You're really looking for that, like, oh yeah, there's a dark heart in the seed of your comedy here.
Yeah.
But overall, it's really good. I was surprised how well actually held up.
Nice.
Also surprised how well it held up. Jason Lives, fantastic movie.
Sure.
I believe it is the sixth or seventh maybe sixth in the Friday the 13th franchise. It is the one where he becomes like a supernatural, unstoppable juggernaut.
Yeah, that's 6.
Literally in the opening, they dig him up to make sure he's dead and end up getting him struck by lightning. And then throughout the entire movie, I don't know if they really meant to do this or if I'm just reading into it, but headcanon, it's there. Jason suddenly has strength beyond, like before he was a big dude, but he wasn't.
He was like a redneck.
Super powered.
Yeah, but he didn't have supernatural strength.
Yeah.
And now he has like superpowers.
He grabs a guy early in this movie and just rips his arm clean off. And then Jason stops and looks at the arm.
Yeah.
Because I swear to God,
he didn't mean to do it.
He didn't know it was going to happen. Like, this is the movie where suddenly he becomes like Jason. And I think it surprises him as much as any of us. It is the best of the Friday the 13th franchise. Even including
I mean, I would say Jason X, but whatever.
Jason X.
Oh, y'all.
You're correct. You're correct.
My kid watches these things on YouTube. He watches some kill count videos. I don't know if you've seen these.
Oh, sure.
He watched the one that is about Jason in space. Is that Jason X?
That's Jason X.
Jason X.
Hell yeah.
And I've never seen the movie, but I saw the video of
Nick's
it.
correct.
And
It's the best.
I was like, man, this looks spectacular in all the right
ways. It is so fucking great, dude. They turn him into Nano Super Jason. It is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Jason X. And because of weird rights issues, you will very, very, very rarely ever see that one streaming alongside the rest.
Yeah, because it's why they couldn't call it Friday the 13th.
Yeah. And we also watched the Friday the 13th remake, which is the 12th movie in a franchise that desperately needs to get to 13 and won't.
That feels wrong. Like that there's 12 of these movies.
It's a cast of CW actors, and it is a lot better than I would think. Basically, the same couple of years that they did Texas Chainsaw reboot, they did a reboot of this. I think this has some of the same people behind the camera as
Freddy Krueger
versus Jason.
It was Platinum Dunes. Platinum Dunes was remaking all the
Platinum Dunes went through all the IP and rebooted these things. It's not bad.
That one's Friday the 13th's not bad. The Nightmare one really sucks, but the Texas Chainsaw remake that they made, was it 2003 or something? That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, this one has a couple of great kills on a boat that are just great. Yeah. Very fun.
Also, consolidating down the first 3 movies worth of lore kind of works.
Yeah, 3 or 4. They just crash through a bunch of movie plot. Friday 13th doesn't have a lot, so it doesn't take long. Basically, if you do a reboot of that franchise and you put the hockey mask on him in the first movie, you've covered 4 movies of shit from the original. I started rewatching iZombie, and I'm absolutely stunned by how quickly it sets up all of its crazy ass plot. For as nuts as that show gets with like the zombie apocalypse and negotiating their way through it and like really trying to deal with all of it and then resolving it, all of the seeds of it are set up in season 1, like way more than stuff I thought started in season 2 starts earlier. And I'm surprised every time I rewatch the show. Also, I catch another pun almost every time I watch the fucking show. Les. Oh my God.
The Putt Bowl Surfers.
Yeah, no, Mutt Bowl Surfers. So in the second episode, I think second or third episode of season 1, Liv is going to meet Blaine at, there's a dog-friendly internet cafe down on St. Anne's. And that no one ever says anything else about it. It's a dog-friendly internet cafe. Except that they're standing outside of it later, and the sign behind them says Mutt Bowl Surfers instead of Butthole Surfers.
Oh, no.
And like, I'm looking at it in the back of the scene going, are you fucking kidding me? I forgot that it's Major Lillywhite is Major's name.
Right.
John Doe is like DEAUX is somebody's name. Mr. Boss, one of the criminals. Donnie, Scott E. Yeah, I absolutely love all the fucking goofiness on this show. Damn it, there was another pun I saw in the episodes today that I was like, you motherfuckers. Oh, their district attorney, Floyd Baracus. So every once in a while, somebody has to call him by his job title, and it's D.A. Baracus.
D.A.
Oh my
God damn it.
Oh my God, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. Like it's one of those things like it's on his name thing on his desk, and every once in a while
that feels like something that got written in, and then in the editing bay they realized, like the showrunner realized the writer got it past them, like, you fucker.
It is some Storm Daniels no relation shit, man.
God damn it.
Yeah, I fucking love iZombie. And then Fanny and I watched it's not exactly a horror movie. It is terrifying in the sense that the Catholic Church during the Inquisition is fucking terrifying. But it's called Coven of Witches, and it really good movie. It is Spanish, set in like Basque territory, and basically these 4 assholes from the church have been going around with like a high inquisitor because they've been told there's all these rumors of rural women doing witchcraft and a black coven Sabbath bullshit. And so they've been to like 6 or 7 fucking villages so far, and they've killed 4 to 8 women by dragging them up and burning them alive in each village. And nobody's told them shit yet, but that just keeps, because it's crazy church bullshit, like the lack of evidence. Like they show one of the interrogations with one of the women, and it's you can't win. Like anything you say is like, well, how would you not know about me not knowing that you know that? Like it's all fucking and they are. So they roll into this village
not
at the start of the movie.
Classic witch.
Yeah, like, oh, witch, don't bedevil me with your tongue. Well, why aren't you speaking? Like they can't win. They roll into this village and take, I think it's 5 girls, like immediately arrest them for just being like
women in the 1800s.
Like. And so like they're singing an old folk song. Like it is a village where there like basically are no men. They're all out to sea.
Your Honor, I do believe that these the perpetrators do indeed have uteruses.
Yes,
guilty.
They're very much guilty of that. And it's a village with no men. They're all out to sea. Like it's all sailors. And so they're singing a song about sailors that which comes into play later. Basically, they realize once they're arrested that they are going to die, and all they can do is kill time. And so they're like 2.5, 3 weeks from a full moon, and they realize that these priests really, really want to know about the evil Black Sabbath mass. And so they just start making it up. And like, we'll show you it on the full moon. And it buys them like 2.5 weeks of hanging out and shit. And then they, at the climax of the movie, like they drag these fucks out to the woods and like just wing it. It's like all these girls just making up this bullshit with like the old ladies who can't say anything without dying too, doing like the equivalent of a like old timey fist bump of like respect, like fuck these dudes, and like basically the game becomes like, can you do something that makes the Inquisitor look like he might have the stain of Satan upon him before you die? Like I may be going out of here, but can I fuck your reputation up before then? And can we just lie about this? And like,
some of us can only dream of dying in a petty way to just like to truly fuck over someone else.
Like remarkably good movie, and also has that gaslighty kind of horror of realizing that like you live in a time where people could say anything fucking crazy if it's church, like, well, my crops failed because Randy, you bedeviled me. And like that has some kind of fucking court power. And like
I did bedevil your crop.
Like just the
is
like
that
real
why you
like you can
outside?
see you can see it dawning on people in the movie of like, oh wait, I'm sorry, I thought we were joking. This is a stupid conversation, but I hear it now that this is very serious. And like, yeah, absolute ridiculousness of it all. It's called Coven of Witches. Remarkably good movie. Not exactly horror. There's nothing supernatural. There's just the terror of superstition carrying the weight of law.
I've seized the day. Now I've got one thing left to say. Hey, fuck you. Here's my 2 minutes notice. Fuck you. Time to quit and smell the roses. Say goodbye. While I look you in the eye.
Just a reminder, you can support us by going over to patreon.com/tvdudes and throw us a buck an episode. In exchange, we get to keep up with streaming services, pay for hosting costs, and you get bonus content each week. This week, we're talking about Tucker and Dale versus Evil. All right, it is time for our main course, and let us talk about Shoresy Season 2.
Here we go now.
I went into this, and I almost, like I said, I've been in Spider-Man mode, and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I really want to watch Shoresy. I always like Letterkenny. I always really like Shoresy, but I never come to it with like, oh wow, more of this. I'm so excited. And yet, every time it sucks me in, and I wind up super happy with it. And that was what happened this time too. It's 6 episodes. It's super fast.
Yeah, I told Nick I'm the same way. I never think I'm in the mood for it. I sit down and watch one, and the next thing I know, we watched all 6.
Yeah.
I was also a little irritated. I was like, God damn it, it's still spooky season. I got another day to Halloween. I'm only watching scary stuff. You're fucking me up here, Shoresy. Why did you drop this week?
Yeah.
And literally, as soon as we started it, just tore through it.
Yeah. Well,
that said, I do not understand how no-show hockey season works at all.
So
all. Neither.
It opens with basically like a math problem, like a word out math problem of like, so they went on to, in the last season, win all their games, I guess win the playoffs, but not win the championship got canceled, which means that they are the winners of the league, and they're on a 22-game win streak, but didn't win they're not championships, except that they are, because they got a trophy.
The trophy.
God damn it, I don't understand hockey.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, Ted Lasso made me understand enough of soccer to follow the stories. This one, whenever they do the hockey shit, I'm like, I guess this is hockey. I don't know.
Right, I just tune out of like, we need to win this next game, boys.
Okay, sure.
Well, the main point is that they are now they are now protecting their throne. They are the top dogs.
Yeah. Yes,
it's like a Major League 2 problem. Yeah.
Yeah, but it also makes it to where the end of this season, they just kind of stop, and I was like, oh cool, we did the win streak. We got to the win streak where we're the best team ever, but they don't act. But the tournament playoffs haven't even started yet. Like, and I'm like, wait a minute. So wait, did you win or?
Yeah.
Fucking god damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing that works about it is all the characters are good, all the relationships are good, and the like running the way these guys use words, the same way they do with Letterkenny, where you get these running gags, it always works. The wordplay is so good.
Shut the fuck up,
Sanguinet. Settle down.
Ragging on Fish. all of the game stick stuff, the Jacques-Jean and Frankie, Jean-Jacques.
Yes, that whole thing. The
JJ,
bears,
Frankie, JJ.
the gay bear calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, everything this season works. It's all fun and it's always entertaining.
I really wanted. I get that they wanted us to roll into that last episode with like basically everybody's relationships working, everything working, and the guys all happy. Like if that's the last episode they get, everybody went out thrilled.
Yeah,
I know they set up a great thing to do. You know, if they want another season, they got a thing to do now.
Yeah.
But I told Nick, I was like, where I wanted him to go with the JJ Frankie JJ thing.
Sure.
Before Laurence Leboeuf.
Laurence
Leboeuf.
I wanted them to reveal that JJ Frankie JJ's bi, and they just haven't seen it yet. Like they just haven't seen him with a dude yet.
Yeah, for sure.
But that basically now he's wheeled like 4 of the hottest women in Quebec.
Yeah, he's gonna start running
and like,
through.
Well, no, I burn all that bridges, and like him roll into the gay club.
God.
And like, oh god damn it, we got a new problem. Now he's gonna start taking down every dude here.
And I was telling Les, I'm like, well, Les, Jared Kesso may not be a super conservative dude, I don't think, but I don't think he's as progressive as you want him to be, because none of these main characters are actually gonna end up being bi.
Right.
Yeah.
You're lucky that we had the trans thing joke they were doing,
which leads me to the one scene of the entire series where I was like,
I don't know what we're doing here,
man.
Yeah.
What are we doing? This is a fucking Far Side song from 25 years ago. This feels like a rap from the 90s.
Yeah.
Why are you talking about trans issues like this?
He once made out with a girl that ended up being a dude, and I'm like,
she's very hot, dude. Good for her. And like, no, that's not. Please, God damn it, stop.
Yep.
And
I mean, like, it could have gone worse. But
I would say, like, well, Shoresy should come in. It's like, I appreciate. Well, it was a girl, and I appreciate not dead naming her. And I'm like, this is not.
Yeah,
Jared
and that would have been a great
dude.
shutdown of that. But like, why was that? It felt like the in Tulsa King, Stallone's car ride.
Yes.
Like, get off my lawn rant.
Yeah.
This felt like that of like, what did this add to the? Why is this in?
Why
here
is this here? Yeah.
Well,
what did this add to the show?
Well, we tell him, I'm like, oh, he was a hot guy. Like, he really snuck one past there. Like, that makes them sound sneaky.
Yeah.
And like they're trying to trick you.
Like that I think that's what drove me nuts about it, is like, that's a known issue. The surprise stuff is has led to a shitload of murders.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the onus of the joke, I feel like and why it rubs me the wrong way is that, oh, it's funny because like, those crafty trans people, they're not actually women.
Right.
They're dudes pretending to be women to trick you into being gay.
And like, stop. Yeah, like, why is this in my Shoresy? I love this show. Otherwise, you're killing me here.
It also, like, there's some points in the show where it's like, and in Letterkenny too, of like, no homo.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's a gay character on Letterkenny. I mean, he's not exactly the greatest representation I've ever seen, but
there's also like I told it, I was like, it is progressive on the one hand, but it's not like this show gets away with having like the gross takedown pickup artist culture kind of thing of bros by just making the women incredibly gross about it.
Yeah.
So like it's always the girls that are like, I'm gonna fuck that slut.
I'm gonna fuck that
like,
slut.
And
sluts are not for dating.
On the one hand, it's hilarious
down.
and I love it, but it's not exactly equality. It's not the equality we want to just make women as gross as dudes.
Yeah. Also, there's definitely Shoresy and Letterkenny both are definitely about a lot of hot women and not a lot of clothes.
Right. And all their hot women fit a certain, like, there's Victoria's Secret has more variety of hotness on their calendar than Sudbury has a particular type of hot, and their hot is not hot. I mean, it is definitely working.
Jared Kesso, as the main creator of the show, he's in charge of picking women out of a casting call and lineup.
Yeah.
And it's very much like we are seeing one dude's type, and that's it.
Yeah, I think you're right. But all that said, still a fun season. Like, it was a fun season TV.
We came out of this one and I was like, hey, I feel remiss not mentioning that there are some things here that bother me. But that said, I like this better than Letterkenny, I think. I mean, on single episodes, Letterkenny's amazing.
We didn't even talk about Jory Jordan.
But my God, the story, well, and the story plot on this is great, but yeah, the thing that stole this season straight up is
God, he's so hilarious.
kids podcast that interviewed Jory Jordan. Where they found that
please tell me your name and nationality. I don't think that matters. So you don't think race?
Or your name and ethnicity. Yeah, you don't think race matters? Well, I guess we skip the land acknowledgement.
I guess we'll just skip the land acknowledgement.
The way that he moves the mic back and forth, like
yeah,
like so you were both in the show. Yeah, he did so much coke he got thrown out. How did you fuck it up?
Yeah.
So Simmons did too much coke. Paul, how did you fuck it up?
Yeah.
Paul, do you agree that Simmons looks like he's done significantly more coke than Jameson?
Yeah, like he was brutal. I wanted way more time with that kid.
Yeah.
Does being held back in the second grade hurt worse than being held back in the third grade?
And second part to the question, do you use that as motivation now?
Hold on. And then he puts,
I would have,
he pretends to
God
be on a
damn
call
it, when
with
he answers that banana. It's when he's interviewing the Sioux Hunt and giving him shit about the land acknowledgement stuff and and the cocaine and everything. And the guy, like, he's like the third time he's
listen here, kid.
The guy's like, hey, listen here. And he puts his finger up and answers a banana.
Hold on.
Yep. Hold on.
I'm like,
and I was
man,
like, this kid's a legend.
God, I want to carry a banana to do that to somebody. He's a legend. Every time the two kids with you probably don't get your dink sucked with your microphone clipped to your coat.
Yes.
Every time they were on screen, I wish we'd had the sport kid instead.
Well, they were from the first season, but I feel like they bumped up their role for like not really any particular reason. I'm like, why did you guys get more screen time?
Right.
But the gyms is trivia league.
Their whole trivia thing.
Yeah, the trivia league.
Yeah.
Man.
Michaels is so sad. Oh my Lord.
Instead of
when he's like that he doesn't learn any lesson. He's like, I finally found someone to share it with. Like her though, man, we've been through this. We rewatched the first season as well, and like when she shows back up and going, Michaels, man, she's why you were dead broke, even though you were paid so much for a little while there. Like you paid her student loans, dude, and then her weird brothers. Oh, yeah, I love Shoresy. I was amazed they got a second season.
Yeah,
I hope they get a third. It just I fell in love with every single character.
I mean, Hulu could probably fund this out of pocket change they find in the couches in the office, right?
Right.
Like it's not expensive.
Oh, I mean, what sucks is that it's honestly, definitely more expensive than Letterkenny.
Most expensive stuff
because they shoot hockey and they actually shoot extended shots of whatever. But the main DNA still is wide shots, shot, like and zoom in on the either like the trivia teams or like where they're sitting in the and no one's moving in the scene. Like
the trivia team names: Barack Obama.
Oh man,
Iroquois.
Yes,
Iroquois. That's what it was.
Iroquois, Algonquiz is what they changed it to after they add Michaels.
Yep.
And I can't remember what the other.
I can't either, but it was great. It's
Tropic of Answer.
Yes, Tropic of Answer. Yes.
It's like, God damn it, this is great.
They're pretty solid.
Also,
pretty solid team names.
That dude on the inmates team that's just grinning like a fucking madman.
Yeah, who you know is a psychotic. He's got scars cut into his body.
I thought they were going to reveal that was also one of her brothers, like the
right. I thought there was going to be some reveal, but like, nope. That dude just held that face every time he's on camera and never blinks. It's awesome.
Fucking vultures, we stay loyal to the soil. Y'all can't beat us, might as well join us. Bitch, we gon' score them. Score them. Score them. Score them. Bitch, we gon' score them. Score them. Score them. Score them. Bitch, we gon' score them. Score them. Score them. Score them. Bitch, we gon' score them. Score them. Score them. Score them.
All right, you want to have dessert?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All right, let's talk about Star Trek Lower Decks.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
The penultimate Star Trek Lower Decks, in which we sort of kind of get the answer to what the ship was doing.
I mean, kind of, but I feel like there's another big lore drop. Like, So I'm sorry. So you're saying that the bad guy and Mike obviously like. Oh, I guess it was silly for me to think that it was a low-level character that we've seen before in this season, Peanut Hamper and the other Jeffrey Combs bot.
Yeah.
And no, it's actually a even way more obscure character from fucking Enterprise or whatever. Like,
I mean, that makes sense. That's a very Lower Decks thing.
Yeah. I'm waiting for them to reveal that it's part of what's their Black Op thing that
clone
Blinger
division.
Section 31.
31.
Yeah.
And that he's part of that, and like something like there's something going on with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the different I love I love that it wasn't super like actually it's all these leaders got betrayed by their lower deck crews because the other races have a more toxic work environment than the Enterprise. So they're like I mean, they do target people like Klingons and Romulans and people that are like they're low, like the Ferengi doesn't take them a lot to betray their
right, turn on each other, betray. Like Romulans are always scheming. Yeah, it's like part of their deal.
Let's go scheme over there.
Yeah, I think when I looked that guy up, he's part of Wesley Crusher's graduating class.
Oh wow,
from Next Gen. And pulls some stunt to get somebody killed, and then gets them all to cover it up.
Right, I remember that. Yeah.
And apparently, Tom Paris on Voyager as a character was invented because they wanted to use that dude, and for whatever reason couldn't, or would have, or they
not for whatever reason they didn't want to pay that dude royalty or pay royalties to that show.
Yeah,
right?
Somehow with the licensing, I want to say the thing I said, like something about the licensing between the two shows, it would have cost them money to use that character.
Or carry it forward, and I was like,
which is just bizarre. I don't know. That seems weird, but either way, like apparently that's why we got a Tom Paris instead. So Boimler can be happy.
Yeah, sure.
Well, also I like that Mariner's trying to basically kill herself, like via dangerous Star Trek missions.
Them having to intervention that of like, no, what is going on with you? I had nothing. I'm not trying to kill myself.
Yeah, I really like this take for Mariner. That's why she didn't want to be promoted. She doesn't want to order anybody's death. Like, that makes sense. Yeah, I get that.
Well, it goes into her backstory with what's her name? Her friend from the academy, which I don't think is a thing we knew from before.
No, I think that's new. Yeah,
that's brand new, and it was like also probably another deep cut of like, hey, she didn't. She went to go sign up to Star Trek in space, and she died on some sort of fucking undercover mission that she wasn't ready for because they promoted her or whatever. And I love that the Klingon, God, I wish I knew his name, but like the previous lower decker that became the captain of the ship, he's like, you dishonor her memory. Like she fucking went into space, did her duty, and fucking died for her people. She was a warrior and made a glorious sacrifice. And you do her disservice by using her as an excuse for your bad behavior.
Yep.
And I was like, and even Mariner's like, oh shit, you're right. Hey, let's team up. Like, no, that's not what I was saying. Nope, too late. You're not cheese, baby. Like, no, you said I proved my Katuk, and like, no, I said humanity proved its Katuk. Like you,
nope, you said it. Yeah.
Shit. Well, it stopped raining glass. Let's go.
Oh god damn, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't seen that on more crazy-ass sci-fi. That was great.
This place is too small for proper battle. We must wait until the glass rains, then we can kill each other.
Yeah. I continue to love Lower Decks every single week. I'm going to be so sad when it's done.
Yeah.
Then the fucking Orions are about to kill them, and of course Tendi comes up. Mistress of the Witcher's Constellations.
Yes.
Dude, that never gets old to me.
I love
every time anybody just genuflects and says it.
I love Tendi being just this assassin badass, and she's embarrassed by it. That will always be funny to me.
She just wants to be a bookworm nerd.
It's actually really embarrassing for me. I really wish you wouldn't bring it up.
All right, let's.
Of course, mistress.
Let's talk Loki.
Wow. Damn. Now. That is how you fucking cliffhanger something,
right?
Like, holy shit.
I don't know what they're doing. I have no
idea.
You don't see a lot of shows where they spend a whole lot of time building up this tension of, oh, we've got to fix this thing. Here's how the way to do this thing. Here's all the obstacles in the way. But we know they're going to get through it. At the end, we know the heroes will put the resources together and do the thing, and the day will be saved. Except not.
Right. I saw some fan theory posted that...
What if it just doesn't work?
That like the reason that they found Victor timely and not like in theory they should have found an infinite number of Kang variants. Instead they found one.
Yeah.
And then they put him into when the moment came, he volunteered himself into the loom.
Yes.
And got pulled apart into spaghetti.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, that means there's now one of him in every timeline now.
Yeah.
Oh, you think it was intentional?
and that was intentional.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I either way, as an audience member, I laughed out loud when it happened.
Honestly,
awesome.
I think it's funnier if he was honestly trying to help.
Yeah, and just didn't
and got fucking wiped.
Yeah.
Got spaghetti.
Man.
He didn't make it a step.
No.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. No, that was
wow.
That was a shocker. Also, Loki pruning himself, of course, that was great. But that was great to see.
Makes sense.
That all made sense. That worked out really well. There's a great discussion. I've already seen it memed between Loki and Sylvie, where basically Loki's talking about Sylvie, sort of like he's like, yeah, killing everyone doesn't work. You caused all this, and you're
breaking something so much easier.
So much easier than fixing it. And I was like, man, that's really good, especially because it shows growth for Loki and a path for growth for Sylvie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was honestly, I was still
right.
because it's been like an episode too long since we started, but like Sylvie has been seriously annoying me this season as far as all she does is bitch.
And you're like, you caused this. You killed
and like you are mad at us for how we're fixing it. Fuck you.
I'm sorry that you don't agree with our way of fixing the problem you caused.
Yeah.
You
were the one who was like, no, fuck it, you're dying anyway. Which I respect that energy. Yeah. I totally respect the no, fuck you, you die.
Then you fucked off with McDonald's.
But then you got to be ready to be with us on the shit that's got to be done because of it.
With the ball hanging.
Yeah,
you don't get to be mad at how we were fixing it.
You don't get to fuck off to McDonald's and make fruit pies for the rest of your life. You got to come out.
Yeah, like this is like, come on, or at least don't actively try and fuck us up,
right?
You know,
yeah.
And I love that Loki called her on it too, of like, well, I'm here, aren't I? Like, no, you're here because you couldn't kill Victor timely in the last second.
Yeah,
I asked you to come help, and you told me to fuck off.
Yep.
Like that's not you being here now is not the same thing as actually being here to help me. Like you just don't know what to do.
I also really love the stuff with Miss Minutes and Renslayer, where she's like, I can tell you, but it's gonna make you mad.
Well, it's gonna make you real mad.
She's so happy about that.
She's pretty happy about it.
Real mad.
Why are you so excited to tell me then? What? No, it's terrible.
Well, then realizing that, like, man, Kang said it. I don't do partners.
Well,
like he's bullshit. Like. Using her and realizing that the whole TVA is basically his army he plucked out of time to fight other Kangs.
Yeah.
Well, that made sense. I was like, oh wow, he promised them Valhalla at the end.
Yeah.
But when you're gonna make a time traveling like oh, I need a timekeeper authority. Well, why make a brand new one? I already have the army I used to win the Kang War.
Right.
I'll just retrofit them.
Yep.
Because he doesn't see them as people.
No.
No.
They're just variants.
Well, and I love the problem this season of an organization looking for a mission.
Yeah.
Like the TVA straight up doesn't know what to be.
Right. They're like, we were.
Like in my opinion, they are the Kang killing force now.
Sure. Like we were maintaining the sacred timeline for a guy who's a dick. And now.
Right. Are we supposed to be maintaining a sacred timeline?
Now they're just like, well, can we readjust the loom so that it can accommodate the timelines?
Yep.
So that it's not like, so that the TVA can like stick around and that we don't all just die.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I kept looking at it, like, am I getting this right? That I'm pretty sure the smart move is to let this loom blow up because Kang put this on the time.
Yeah.
Time exists naturally without this loom.
Yeah.
Kang built this fucking thing. Just let it go back to the way it ought to be.
Oh.
And maybe there isn't a TVA choke point anymore, you dicks.
Yeah. Oh, by the way.
Well, maybe that's what we're going to see in the next episode.
I don't know. I mean, this is as big a change as what happened at the end of Loki 1, Multiverse of Madness. Like they're clearly like. Yeah, the multiverse is crazy. Weird shit's happening. Also, we didn't talk about the bromance between OB and Timely, where they're both they both admire the circular that they each wrote the book that they both love.
Yes.
Well, I base off my work off of a ahead of his time inventor, Victor Time, and I was like, oh, God damn you, fucking time
it's like
travel.
A snake up its own ass. I mean, eating its own tail.
It's right there in the name.
Yeah, I know. Also, Miss Minutes, she has when she crushes those members that don't join her.
Oh my God.
Oh my Lord.
She has a truly psychotic smile on her face.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, even Renslayer's not.
Miss Minutes is the true danger of AI.
Oh, Miss Minutes is definitely the villain of this season, if not just like gonna be the new villain. Like, man, I'm gonna be glad when we go. Oh, thank God, it's just Kang again.
Yeah, right. Miss Minutes is psychotic. Kang just wants to rule. Kang just wants to rule the multiverse.
Seems like weirdly affective. Like for Miss Minutes, it feels weirdly personal every time.
She's like, "Fuck you, flesh bags, crush." Yep.
Yeah. All right, Peanut Hamper.
Yeah, Peanut Hamper and Miss Minutes.
I love that most of them said no, and the judge, what her face was like, how's it feel knowing that we all chose a truly gruesome death than to follow your fucking bullshit again?
Yeah.
Like we all think you suck so much, I'm about to stand here and die.
Which is a pretty baller line to go out on.
Yeah.
Also, they don't show what happens to them.
Yeah.
But they show the reaction of B-13, like
a few people.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god! So there's just a square of
flesh
human
and viscera.
It's probably bad. It's probably real bad.
All right, let's jump over and let's talk about GenV, which is also hitting its penultimate episode, and it's already gotten to season 2, which is good.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's funny. We're at a point that like they've been doing so much mindfuckery the last few episodes. It was interesting to get an episode of like, okay, nobody's controlling anybody's thoughts now. But now the perspectives are all fucked because I'm like, I don't know who to root for here because our presidential candidate, who is secretly the person blowing up people's brains, I'm like,
we know she's not great, but she's better than the other people here.
Man, she's better than the genocidal person who wants to kill every super no matter what because they killed their because Homelander killed her family. And yet I'm like, man, Homelander killed her family. Like, no wonder she wants to kill them all.
Yeah, but at the same time, like Shetty's fucking psychotic.
Yeah.
When they go like, that's genocide, you can't just kill all the soups, and then they'll show the soup Trump rally that they went to, and like, we are better than everybody else. I'm like, we got you know, guys.
She might be right. Man. Yeah, and I love that they bring in the boys, like their mentor, and she's like, she calls it. She's like, look, you're not stopping me because you're not entirely certain I'm not right. And she tries.
Yeah, well,
she tries to tell Shetty,
like now it's on the radar of the government. Like now they know it exists.
Well, there's multiple interested parties now, which is like, and so all of them are probably gonna want it for control of some level, or at least the threat of it.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like the show blew that up nicely and like got a couple of other people aware of the existence of this thing right before taking Shetty off the board in a stunning fashion.
She references the I can remember her name, the like person who's not a senator, but she's like basically the boy's backer.
Newman?
Not the candidate for president, but the older woman who talks to Shetty.
Older spook.
Butcher's
she references Butcher, and I immediately was like, I forgot there's a boy spinoff for a minute. And I'm like, oh shit, what would happen if Butcher finds out about this? Because Butcher would absolutely release that in the world.
Like,
he would, except that would absolutely kill his kid.
Yeah. His kid is a soup.
But he would totally kill his kid.
He would be torn, man. He would be real torn on it.
But
that was what season 3 was about when the kid accidentally killed mom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he just had that like, hey, and it's like it's not his kid, it's Homelander's kid.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
the woman he loves is
her kid. Yeah.
It's his stepkid. Or it's the woman he loves kid. It's his ex's kid.
And he didn't raise him.
Right.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really not Butcher's kid. He might fucking, and then that's the thing. Like, we came away from that moment of like, Butcher could never find out this exists.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't give Butcher the button.
No.
I don't think. Honestly, don't give me the button because I feel like I go back and forth.
Right.
Even our main crew are trying to convince Kate to not kill what's her face.
Right, and I'm like,
oh my god.
Yeah.
And
I was so sure that Kate fucking caved. And like. The emotional abuse is so strong there.
Well, the scene ends on you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
And she says you're telling the truth because she can.
It's such a wonderful fake out. I said it to Nick. I was like, if it's a fake out, it's in that she is telling the truth about loving her, but still a monster.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was surprised they did it, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's when they come back, it's like you're telling the truth, and that's what makes it so much worse.
Yeah.
And of like,
right.
why?
I know you really do love me.
You do love me,
and you're still doing
that.
This.
Your manipulation of me is way worse.
Yep. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna fucking put a stop to it.
Yeah. I love the different sides of all of this. Like Sam Sam got screwed over, no doubt, but he is also a psychotic murderer.
Right. Well, he's also impressionable. Like that's why he gets fucked up with the going to the soup rally and be like, well, we are better than everybody else. Like,
you also
like he's still waving bye to that douche when he.
You don't want Sam to meet Butcher either, because Butcher will turn Sam into like a absolute weapon of destruction.
Oh sure.
Yeah. Hey man, why don't you go kill all the soups on the planet?
She doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. So I'll be curious to see if this does cross over a little bit more with the boys. I was surprised to see a couple of the characters make their way in here, although it made perfect sense.
We knew that Blood Chick had a backer, like to get her into the school, because no one likes her power,
right?
And I can't believe I didn't realize
it made so much sense.
And I was like, God, how did I miss that? Because we've only seen her blow up heads.
Because her eyes don't. I don't think her eyes go white when she uses her power. I'm not sure.
But it's the same power.
But it's the same power.
But it's the same power. We just haven't we haven't seen it. Hers is external, and she's been doing it internally because she's more experienced and smarter. Like, hey, have you learned how to do it inside people yet? Like, fuck.
No, she's more of a dick burster.
Yep.
More of a dick burster. Yeah, I fucking love
where blood concentrates. Like, she got one head.
I fucking love
Somebody's only blown up a little head.
Exploders.
She can't blow up the big head
yet.
She can only blow up the little head.
Yeah.
I fucking love this show more than I expected to. Like, I like it better than The Boys.
Me too.
It's deep. And it's in has intricacies of like the morality of what they're trying to like to do, and the virus itself is like a monstrous thing.
Man,
but it's still got the gross out goofiness of The Boys. I mean, it's still got the the show that had A-Train opened with A-Train running through a girl and then picking her like teeth out of his fucking
But the reason where but where this stops is is that A-Train and even the Deep and people like that are just genuinely fucking awful people.
Yeah.
You really, and watching them, and what I love about watching the school is like I can see how you became this.
Yeah, you were built to be this. Like, they turned you into the worst version of yourself.
The choices Jordan's already had to make, like all of them have already had to make choices that they are keeping from their friends. They're slowly going to kill their souls.
Yeah. Every single one of them has already made a choice that's awful. Like, they all find out these things about each other.
Because they all think, they all keep saying, the next level, you'll actually have real power. The next level, like once you get into the 7.
When she's like, no, but once you get into the 7, you'll have real power. And like, we all know from watching The Boys that
that's bullshit.
When you join the 7, you're even more powerless. The machine runs you.
Yeah. It's got so much more to say than Garth Ennis's comic that had. It's so much smarter. It takes the idea that he started with, which is a very adolescent, what if superheroes were all bastards, and really asks that question in a way that's intelligent and interesting and still funny and outrageous.
And has a space here to be like, it's appropriate and has a space here to exist, whereas like Snyder just tried to do this same thing but ruin Superman with it.
It can an intrinsic good overcome the nihilism of power.
Right.
That is just that's not something that like even is at the core of The Boys. Of The Boys is
that's at the core of comics.
Of
superheroes, of humanity.
In The Boys is in the comic, you're right, is just basically like you're right, Randy. It is just what if superheroes were like fucking bastards and killed everybody.
Yeah. What if Soups was right cunts?
And that's not interesting. But if you add on top of the killing people, watching them, what if I watch them struggle with, can these people that are now have done monstrous things, can they choose to do better and be better? Will that make up for things? And even if it doesn't, does that mean that their efforts are worthless?
Right.
And these people that are about to become them, like, can they adjust and make things better for the people down the line? Or is superherodom just basically, should they just wash their hands of it because absolute power corrupts absolutely? Like, there's just more. There's more of a push and pull on concepts and ideas.
Yeah.
I love finding out that that Godolkin is a behavioral psychologist, and the school's actual curriculum that they're learning might as well be complete. Like, they might as well just get empty books and blank paper. Like, No one gives a fuck about their grades.
Yep.
Like this entire thing is an experiment to watch them, to learn to manipulate them.
You think you honestly think you're here to learn? No,
we're studying you.
Yeah,
it felt like that moment of like,
we're here to study.
Can you not figure out why this service is free? You're the product.
Yep. Yeah.
It kind of felt like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, only they're paid to go to college because inadvertently they've made an experiment that actually graduates out. They are they're so part of the industry that they're trying to study that it made me immediately like, no, I actually would watch a YouTube thing if they would make it like from the producers of this explaining to me this experiment because you guys are real close to your study group here.
Slater, or what's her name? This principal, she
Shetty.
makes the speech. Shetty makes the speech of like, no, I've seen you come through here and I've studied your behavior and you're all to your core.
You all fucking suck.
Yeah.
You all suck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. But you're observing them coming to this place where you basically teaching them how to be bad people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like it's
like
a confirmation
running an experiment
bias.
in the Midway where Pinocchio goes and turns into a donkey. Like, well, every kid I see is just a drinking, smoking shithead.
Yep.
And like, well, I mean, dude, you're only studying them here.
Well, maybe stop supplying the booze and cigars, you fucking psycho.
You fucking dick.
Yep. This show is so fucking
I'm
good.
loving this show.
Yeah.
Man, just shockingly good.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for us. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Les.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, dude.
And thank you to our listeners. Thank you to our patrons. Remember, you can go over to www.patreon.com/tvdudes. Don't know why I did the full URL that time, but I did. And throw us a fucking episode, and you can listen to us talk about Tucker and Dale versus Evil and a whole bunch of other stuff. And until next time,
these TV will never do it again.
The TV Dudes is an independently run podcast out of Austin, Texas. We are exclusively listener supported. If you'd like to help us out, go to patreon.com/tvdudes.
You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TV Dudes. All the music for our show is done by our friend and original TV dude, Gregory J. Amani Smith.
To find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com. I'm Randy Lander.
I'm Les Weiler.
And I'm Kyle Scott.
Thanks for listening.